Vivian Heidi from House of Heidi, and this is Digital Dossier. Today we're reading Reddit Glitch in the Matrix stories. So, a glitch in the Matrix basically means something that's like different or weird about reality. Usually it has to do with the Mandela effect, and if you don't know what the Mandela effect is, well, our first story explains it quite perfectly. So, let's get into it. So this person, the rigor morticia, oh, that's a cool name. They said the Mandala effect has me super salty. So for anyone who isn't aware, the Mandala effect began when someone had an argument with a friend over whether or not Nelson Mandela had died in prison. I thought he did. I remember when I was a kid, I was watching the History Channel and they were doing a documentary about him. And I was so sure they were talking about how he died in prison. They even had someone go into his cell and they were talking about what a great man he was. As a Google search will tell you, he didn't die in prison. He died in 2013. This is one of dozens of things that people are remembering differently. The other more famous incident being the Berenstain Bears controversy. Again, I remember it with an E. I used to wonder if it was Steen or Stein. Oh, I remember the same thing actually. Berenstain Bears. Yeah, I remember that too. I read at an 11th grade level when I was in the fourth grade, so I know I would have been able to tell if it was Stain. I'll go ahead and include a list of other changes that are personally making me insane. I'll post the way it is now first, and then next to it, I'll put the way I remember it. I know there are other posts about this, but it's bothering me so much that I need to go ahead and write it down. My roommate and I have been binge watching videos about it, and she's gone for the day, and I need to talk about this some more. That's funny. So Febreze is Febreze with two E's. Wait, so oh wait, wait, really? I always thought Febreze was with two E's. So the first one is oh, okay, so I'll post the way it is now first, and then the way you remember it second. Yeah. Well, that's so weird. I didn't even think about that. So Febreze isn't with two E's. Well, let me know in the comments if you remember these like the same way that this person remembers them or not. That's so strange. Fruit Loops with Froot and then loops or Fruit Loops. Yeah, I always thought it was fruit spelled as like actual fruit. Looney Tunes and Looney Tunes. Um, for that one, I feel like for me personally, I remember it like Tunes, like how it is now. I think so at least. Cap'n Crunch, Captain Crunch. That one, I think I always remembered it as Cap'n Crunch. Oscar Mayer, Oscar Mayer. I definitely thought of it as Oscar Mayer, but I feel like that one might just been like a pronunciation thing, you know? Oscar Mayer, Oscar Mayer. Yeah. Charles Schultz. How's it? Oh, with the T. Yeah, that's strange as well. Interview. Oh, this one gets me because I love Interview with the Vampire. It's one of my favorite books and one of my favorite movies as well. Love that movie. Interview with the Vampire. Interview with a Vampire. Yeah, I definitely remembered it as Interview with a Vampire. I still say it that way. But I think maybe some people that like that movie. So there's a movie called oh, I think it's called A Werewolf in London or something like that. Maybe it's a book, I'm not sure. But there's some sort of thing with like a werewolf in London. So maybe that's where the confusion is, with the and the I don't know. Um, if you build it, he will come. If you build it, they will come. I don't even know what that one is. Is that just is that like a movie or is that just a saying? I'm not sure. The positions of South America and Australia. The positions of South America and Australia. Oh, I guess like on a map. Russia in relation to Alaska. Yeah, I always thought Russia was way further away, but it seems like it's right next to Alaska, basically. The sizes of China and Mongolia, they seem way bigger now. Like China, that seems much, much bigger now than from what I remember as a kid. But maybe that's just like the maps being weird. I don't know. And the shape of Korea. Drano. Oh, I didn't know Drano was spelled like that. That's weird. And what? No, this one has to be fixed. Skechers and Skechers with the T. It definitely has a T in it, right? There's no way. That's crazy. What? Skechers doesn't have a T in it? I literally just walked by a Skechers store the other day. That's so weird. So the user goes on to say, so those are the ones that are really getting to me. I understand that human memory is super unreliable sometimes, and I know that everyone wants to claim that they personally are the exception and that they can remember everything. But I just want to say that while there are definitely a lot of things I can't remember from childhood, but some of these were such a big part of my everyday life that I almost can't believe I would remember it wrong. For me, the biggest part of this would make me believe that this could have for me, the biggest part of this that make me believe that this could have any real grounds is a feeling I get when I realize that these things are now called the grammar and this is atrocious, and I have this intense feeling inside that is just super off. Yeah, that is quite strange. So that's basically what effects are, and they're like this isn't just what glitches in the matrix are, but a glitch in the matrix is a Mandela effect, or a Mandela effect is a glitch in the matrix. So now let's get into more glitch in the matrix type stories, but they don't all have to do with Mandela effects. So, but that is so interesting. Let me know in the comments if you vibe with any of these, or if they're just the same for you. I don't know. It's quite strange. So this person, United Substance 666, says that they saw the same man twice. Okay, so let's read. I swear I saw the same person walk by twice, doing the exact same thing, dressed the exact same way. Was about 2 months ago in Seattle at a park in Cap Hill. It was sunny, so I went to this park to sit in the sun and smoke while listening to music and people watching with my sunnies on so nobody can see. That's funny. Anyways, I noticed a tall man wearing a light blue and white buffalo checkered short-sleeved button-up shirt. He was wearing tight white, kind of high water. I think they mean high-waisted, high-waisted high water, skinny jeans with light gray hey dude shoes. That's very descriptive. And had short brown hair that was kind of coiffed to one side. He was eating a hot dog that was in a red and white checkered to go kind of plate thing. Oh, I know what they're talking about. Like, yeah. And he walked from the west entrance to the park diagonally across the large soccer field and into the public restroom. So that's very descriptive. I mean, obviously, I guess they remember it because it happened twice, so it was very, like it's just a weird thing. When this man was about halfway across the field, I was sitting closer to the entrance. I swear the same exact man entered the park, walked the same path as his twin, and entered the same public restroom. He was wearing the same exact buffalo checkered shirt slash white skinny high water jeans. Is that like a term? Because he said it twice now, so I feel like it can't be a typo. High water jeans? Or does he mean high waisted? So weird. Hey dude outfit with the same short brown coiffed hair, eating a hot dog out of the same red and white checkered plate thing. I initially thought I was really high or something. I can understand the hot dog thing since there are street food vendors all around the area on weekends. But I cannot even begin to explain the rest of it. His face even looked the same, but I didn't really get a good look at it since I mostly saw the back of the first twin walking away towards the bathroom. I was just kind of sitting there looking around, trying to see if anyone else saw it too. And this couple next to me literally said, "Didn't that same bad word just walk by 2 seconds ago?" Gosh, people are so mean. I remember that because I accidentally laughed out loud and they looked at me and I told them I was thinking the exact same thing. I didn't stay long after that, about 10 to 15 minutes or so, since it was getting dark, but I wish I did so I could watch that bathroom to see both come out. Kind of weird they didn't come out at the same time though, but maybe they had like diarrhea or something. That took a weird turn, especially that's odd. Okay, well, that is quite strange, but I mean, especially with the crazy like not act the crazy like description. It's really strange. I don't know. That's creepy. I have like the chills right now. It's so weird. A commenter said, "This happened to me in Vegas. I saw an elderly lady who had fallen on the ground. People were surrounding to help. Well, that's good. I kept walking. A few minutes later, I passed the same lady that was on the ground. Only thing I could think of was that maybe she had a twin, same clothes. That's so strange. Oh, I hate that. Oh, it's so weird. Goodness, has anything like this happened to you guys? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think, and I've never seen like the same person. Now it's gonna happen because I'm like talking about it, but I've never like seen the same person or like the same situation or I don't know. I've just never had anything like this happen. Quite strange. Okay, so The next post is by Funky Monkey 77. So possibly the craziest coincidence in history occurred. Okay. I'm still trying to make sense of this, my dad told me yesterday. First off, I live in a small town in England with a population of about 20,000. Not many people. My dad bumped into someone he used to work with the other day and started talking about coincidences. She said she had one that was unparalleled to anything else. Her daughter was born in my town, but moved to Australia as a young adult. She was in a restaurant in Australia with a friend, and they started talking about my town where she used to live. She started talking about a bank she used to work at and recalled a family that were frequent customers at the bank. She remembered the son the most and started talking about him. Let's call him John. The guy at the next table leans over and says, "Holy shit, I know that bank. I'm John." What? That's crazy. They started talking, and it was the guy in Australia who she knew from a small town in England years ago. And they were sitting a table away from each other, and she talked about him at that time. What are the odds? TLDR, people who knew each other in England bump into each other in a restaurant in Australia more than 20 years later. That is crazy. I love that. So this kind of reminds me of a story about myself and my dad. So my dad was served in the army back in the 80s, and he was in Egypt at the time, and he like him and his unit or whatever made friends with the Fijian, like the army from Fiji, because the Fijian army was also stationed there. So they would hang out and stuff and whatever. And they even had my dad even has a couple pictures of the time. So he has a picture of like him with his Fijian army buddies. And years later, after I was born and everything like that, I joined the Peace Corps. And I was in the Peace Corps in Fiji. And my host mom, so like the family that like for each Peace Corps volunteer, there's like a family that takes them in while we're doing our training and stuff. So my host mom was talking about how her dad was in the Fijian army, and then I told her about how my dad. So she said that he was in the Fijian army and he was stationed in Egypt. And I remember my dad telling me about that. That he had made friends with guys in the Fijian army, and he was in Egypt as well. And it turned out that her dad was in Egypt at the same time as my dad, and also my host mom. She was my host mom, but she was only a couple years older than me. She was like I was like 26 at the time and she was like 32 or something. So not that much of an age difference. So her dad was in Egypt at the same time as my dad. And I told my dad about it. And he actually has a picture that he sent me, like, over the phone. He sent it to me. I showed it to my host mom and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's my dad." So it's crazy that my host mom in Fiji, in like a tiny little island in Fiji, her dad and my dad served in the military together. Well, Fijian Army and American Army, but like they were both in Egypt at the same time, and they were friends like years and years ago in the 80s. So crazy. So that story like just reminded me of that. So it's quite strange how coincidences like how things like feels like the world is very, very small, It's really cool. Okay, this next story is by Legally DeLong. Oh, that's like an alien reference. So things have been really weird lately. I need help. And there is an update, and I have the update as well. So let's get into it. Okay, this is a long one. Let's lock in. So before you start reading this, I'm aware that this could all just be looking too much into details or I have the creeps already. I feel like this is gonna be scary. Oh gosh. Okay. Too much into details or pure coincidences. But hear me out. I'm lost. These are all 100% true, and I could use any reasoning or explanation for why this stuff is happening. Thanks. Okay. Okay, let's read. So a few days ago, me and my best friend were texting late at night. Normal teen girl bullshit. I'd say it was around 11:10, and again, just normal texting. Well, we were talking for about another minute or so, and I shit you not, the clock said 11:35. So obviously, I'm like, "Hey, did time just speed by, or am I going crazy?" My friend told me I was right because she went to the bathroom at like 11:09, and when I said it was 11:35, she just got out. No way she was in the bathroom for 20 minutes just taking a piss. Now, that may just be because it was late and we zoned out or maybe got caught up in conversation, but ever since that night, weird shit has been happening. I mean, that's not too crazy. Like, you can lose track of time pretty quickly. So let's keep reading. Okay. At first, it was little things. Us both getting pains in our bodies in the exact same places at the same time. Every time we let our dogs inside, they run into a safe place and act scared. But it got worse. Okay. So far these things are like just like little coincidences that don't really mean much like on its own, but let's keep reading. I'm getting creeped out. Okay. Last Friday I got home from school. My parents are divorced and my dad always picks me up on some Fridays. Always on some Fridays. He's usually there right at 4 for me, sometimes even earlier. Today was different. I wasn't mad at first because I had to finish my chores and get changed. But once I got around 4:30, I was kind of worried because my dad was never this late. I was going to give him a call, but I decided it was probably traffic because when school got out, we tended to clog up the roads. Then finally, about 4:45, my dad texted me that he was pulling into my driveway and to gather my things and go outside. So I grabbed my stuff and he wasn't here. He didn't show up for 4 more minutes. Then eventually, when he did, I asked what took so long. He told me that he texted me when he was like 2 streets away, so I had time. But but when he turned down one of the roads, there was a guy standing in the middle of the road. He didn't give too much detail, besides the fact that he was just standing there looking like he'd never seen a car in his life. My dad called him a dumbass, of course, and said he had to honk a few times, and he just walked away. He just walked away? What? My dad said he didn't look homeless, if anything, just like a normal guy. But that makes my gut hurt thinking about it. It makes no sense. I feel like that's not too weird. I mean, people are strange, you know? Like, I don't know. I feel like so far none of this is real. I don't know why I got like was getting like the creeps because so far none of this seems like that crazy, you know? Okay. Well, it doesn't end there. I say the creepiest thing, but there's still more. I say that's the creepiest thing, but there's still more to what's going on. This weekend, me and my friend had a nightmare on the same night. Hers was more of a nightmare, as mine was just a noise. I don't exactly remember what hers was about, and I'd go through the text, but we send about 1,000 a day, so I'd rather not. But mine was just plain weird. I heard a very loud siren type noise. It was just like fuck F word blasting. I'd say it lasted about 10 seconds. Then when I shot up from my bed, it was just complete silence. It was around 4 a.m., but I just went back to sleep. Still, I never had something like that happen. I feel like that's not that weird. I don't know. Is it just me or like what do you guys think? Is this like creepy and weird? I don't think it's that weird. I mean, today things have just been have been just as weird. My friend's dog has been acting really nutty, barking and shit outside when there's nothing there. Dogs do that. I mean, what? And just acting off. My sister even told me that Saturday morning our neighbor's dog barked for 2 hours straight directly at our house. Like what? I feel like this is just a teen girl trying to cause some drama in her life. She's bored or something. Like this doesn't seem too wacky for me, you know. Dogs are we, you know, dogs bark at things all the time. Uh, Not to mention the text my friend received. We were texting like usual when she just said, "I got a text." So of course I'm like question mark question mark question mark question mark. She sends me a photo of her Apple Watch notification that has my name on it and says, "Be there or be square." I'd never text her that, and it doesn't show up in her chat history at all. It was just a random text, and we've honestly been on edge ever since. They used the wrong form of sense, but whatever. Ever since. None of this makes sense to me. Oh my gosh, makes sense to me. They're all just little things that could be normal, but I've been getting a constant feeling of being watched. I can post updates as things happen if anyone is interested. I know this is sloppy, but it's what's happening. I don't know. And this guy is apparently really popular on Reddit too. I don't know. None of it seems that crazy to me. It feels like just a teen girl that's just like putting like random little things together. She's probably bored and wants to like have some drama and mystery in her life because none of this seems that off. And the text thing, like, unless she like shows proof of that, I don't even believe it, honestly. But let's read some of the comments. Do you have a carbon monoxide sensor? Nope, don't think so. That could explain why the weird events are concentrated in one household. That's kind of funny. I mean, it's true too. It's not just mine; it's my friends too. So you might both. This was 9 years ago too. That's funny. You might both have carbon monoxide problems. That's funny. That's so funny. I mean, it's true. Okay, oh my gosh, it's probably a demon. We've had similar weird situations. Not sure if you're religious, but the best way I've learned to ward off a demon is declare something similar to, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to leave. Maybe even add, leave our house and never communicate with us again, or whatever else you want to say. Me and my family have been in pretty creepy situations and have had our houses blessed by our pastor previously. That's pretty funny. Also, it looks like you've used the Ouija board even a year ago. Wait, how does she know that? What? Even if a year ago. Oh, maybe from like another post. So I'm assuming that's how you probably both let that demon in. I know my mother did that when she was a teen and weird things happened, but just for a short time. I'm not a religious person at all. I believe in spirits, but not so much demons, angels, etc. But at this point, I'm not ruling anything out, ruling out things for this. That's pretty funny. Uh, but how is any of that like paranormal stuff? Is not at all. This is. Am I just going crazy? Like, does this seem not that big of a deal? Like the situations she described, it just seems like random little things, and like some of it, who knows if it's even true? It just sounds like I don't know. It just doesn't seem real to me. The loud siren in the middle of the night could have an explanation, but does seem odd. Are you sure no one else in the house heard anything? I thought that was a dream, though, wasn't it? I mean, honestly, everything. Yeah, this is what I think. Honestly, everything else doesn't seem too outlandish to me. Time tends to pass more than you think. It just does when in the middle of a conversation on the phone. Also, sounds like your dad was just late. Yeah. And maybe the person on the street was high or something. Exactly. And dogs can bark at anything for about any reason. That's exactly what I think. The text is odd, but then again, it could be a glitch, a hack, or just a lapse of memory of what you actually texted a while ago. Anyway, I would try to remain calm, keep updated if anything else happens. Hope this helps. Yeah, I agree. I think nothing's too crazy. You're just making something into something that's not. Oh, she added more. Okay. Well, it doesn't end there. I say that's the creepiest thing, but there's still more to what's going on. This weekend, me and my friend had a nightmare on the same. Oh no, this is what she said before. Okay, and they're responding to it. Oh, I'm silly. I heard a siren type noise today about 7 hours ago. A continuous tone for 10 to 15 seconds. Those kinds of sounds have never happened before where I live. Okay. Tinnitus. You could lose all sense of hearing in one ear for about 5 seconds. Doo-doo-doo. Or it could be a glitch in the matrix. Oh, I love that's funny. Was it tonight? Like sound came from. Oh, this is someone else that when they said they heard the siren noise. Okay, whatever. That's whatever. Someone else, end timer said. I feel like I'm probably gonna agree with this person too. It's probably just coincidence. Human brain is great at pattern recognition. That's true. That's very true. Example, if nothing else happened except for that guy standing in the road, it would be safe to assume he was off his meds or on new ones, etc. And even with the other stuff, that has nothing to do with random pains or losing track of time. It's probably all unrelated. I agree. There's bound to be times in all of our lives where coincidences compound into something uncanny. It's nothing. It's nothing. Laugh about it. That said, this is glitch in the matrix. So how about a crazy theory? Oh gosh. Oh, that's funny. I want to preface the following demented conjecture by saying I'm full of shit and life is not a low budget horror film. That's funny. It sounds like something that would be straight out of an alien abduction story. Oh, that's so funny. Wasting time late at night, both you and your friend. The pain would be something residual from the abduction. I mean, it's true. It's true. That's so funny. I was not expecting this to be an alien abduction Reddit post, but that is really funny. I love this. I love this so much. Um, it would help explain the reason the dogs are afraid of something inside you, of something inside the house. The man your father encountered had never seen a car before, at least not up close, because it wasn't a man. That's also why your father was light on details. It freaked him out. Something wasn't right, either visually or behaviorally, but he disarmed it by telling himself and you it was some idiot. The siren may have been something you actually heard, but maybe not in your bedroom. The text was from an attempt at interfacing with your personal devices as they further interlope into your lives. That's so funny. And they only got 6 upvotes. No one replied to it, but that's really funny. I love it. I love that so much. Um, and someone else said, "Have you?" I love that it turned into an alien abduction story. Have you experienced headaches in the last couple of days? And Legally DeLong said, I'm surprised they didn't like jump on this abduction story though, like based on their name, you know. They said no, nothing like that. If anything, me and my friend have both been getting a sharp pain in our right knees. But again, that could be anything and have no relation to what's going on. I feel like this girl's full of shit. I don't know. That's what I think at least. But who knows? Update. Okay, here's the update. Now this is probably where it gets spooky, okay? Let's see. Let's see. In my last post, a lot of people recommended checking the CO or whatever in my home. My friend didn't, but I talked to my brother, who's an electrician, I should mention, so I feel sort of okay with him doing it. To, I mean, it's not that hard to check your level of carbon monoxide. Like, what? To check and make sure there's no unsafe measures of carbon monoxide in my home. Wait, I thought this was like teen girl. Is it not? I thought it. Oh, no, it is. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Whatever. I never thought that that'd be even be the problem, but I just wanted to make sure just in case. He did the whole process and said everything looked normal, so I'm ruling that as not the problem. Now, they spelled since wrong again. Ever since my last post, a few weird shit has happened. That's really good grammar. Really great. My friend was standing outside yesterday morning waiting for the bus to come. Car pulled into the neighborhood. She immediately noticed that the tires were almost flat. She thought it was crazy how he was even able to drive. The car slowed down in front of her driveway, right in front of her. He just idled there for like 3 seconds, then sped off. My friend doesn't know who he was or really what he looked like because it spooked her. Last night, I got a phone call. Me and my friend have been getting no caller ID phone calls daily at this point. Every time we answer, it's just silent. But this phone call was different. It didn't have a no caller ID or a number. It was just blank. I tried to screenshot it, but when I did, I clicked decline on accident. Okay, great excuse. That could just be an error or something, but it freaked me out. That's really all that's weird that's happening worth noting. We've been trying to involve ourselves more at school to avoid the paranoia that this is causing us. Okay, so she is, yeah, she's a teen. She's going to school and stuff. It seems like just a teen girl that wants some drama in her life, you know? Like the other post said, she just wants her life to be a low budget horror movie. I mean, what? So someone with low tires stopped in front of her friend and then sped off, and then the phone call thing? I don't know. And who knows if that's even real because I feel like if it was real, I feel like she wouldn't have to mention that she wasn't able to get the screenshot. I don't know. I feel like her mentioning that she wasn't able to get the screenshot is kind of proof that it's not real because she's like explaining why she doesn't have the screenshot, you know? Okay, so some of the comments on the update says, and the story escalates. Yes, a few screenshots of a call log or the actual call taking place would be great. People could argue that it could be fake because this is the internet, and you could easily doctor up something in some website and put it in Photoshop, but inclined, inclined to believe you. Love the confidence, just like, but inclined to believe you. Why the hell would you go through all this effort if it wasn't true? Unless you're a really good storyteller. Regardless, this is interesting, so I'll go wherever this takes me. And honestly, she's like, no offense to her, but she's not that great of a storyteller. Like the grammar was awful. But so maybe it is true then. Who knows? Even if it's true, nothing crazy really happened, unless it was aliens. So you're not slowly being poisoned. That's great. I love that. So you're not slowly being poisoned. Great. You don't happen to live in a small town, do you? Or frequent old houses for that matter. I can't really give any logical explanation at this point. Some freaky shit must be happening is a lame answer. I hope you're well and you keep calm. I guess I'll be lurking in the comments of this every now and then, so keep us updated. And then the OP said, I do live in a fairly small town, very rural, but the house isn't old. We built it. I did try to screenshot the call, but if it happens again, I'll be sure to be more careful and take one to show everyone. But I hope it doesn't call again because that weirds me out as everything else does. Okay, well, and then I literally went onto this girl's Reddit page and like looked at all her posts, but she posted the same exact posting to a couple other to a couple other subreddits as well, including No Sleep. So I don't even maybe this isn't real then, because No Sleep is like not for like real stories, you know. So who knows? Who knows if it's real or not? She even posted in like in the subreddit for like advice and stuff, and for the paranormal as well. So who knows? Who knows if it's real? Let me know what you think in the comments if you think it's real or not. Let me know what you think of the other stories. If you've had any glitch in the matrix stories or experienced any Mandela effects that I mentioned or any other ones that you've thought of that maybe are, not like in the mainstream that we could talk about. And oh, and let me know if you think this last one was aliens. I'm Vivian Heidi from House of Heidi, and this has been Digital Dossier. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.